guys? Hope you all are doing well. Today's Friday. Got the truck loaded up, ready to go this morning. Let me show you what we're doing. So, got my F-250 hooked up to the dump trailer here. Got a few things in the bed. We got to go trim back some plants at one of the properties that I do. Pretty much just the, like the, what are they called? Pampas grasses and stuff like that. This particular client likes to have them up in the winter, so gonna go trim those down this morning. Should only take like maybe 2-3 hours, and then that's gonna be like the only like job for today. And then I got something fun coming after that that I'm looking forward to. It's gonna be a little bit of a project, but dump trailer's empty. We're ready to go. All you gotta do is stop and grab gas, 2-cycle gas. I'm usually always prepared. I always am the person that goes to the gas station the night before, and I just don't want to stop anywhere in the morning. But this week's been a little hectic. It's supposed to rain the last 2 days, and it didn't, so I ended up doing a lot of office work when I should have really been out in the field, but the office work really needed to be done, like getting the quotes done and everything else. So let's go to the gas station, grab some gas in this gas can here, and then let's get to the job. So one thing I'll say is I'm not a coffee drinker. I am a water person. It's currently 7:20, and that's all I do. Water. I had one water already this morning. I have something like this, Velveeta banana bread, that gets me through to lunch. So today I don't even need to bring a lunch, which is nice. It's part of having a single cab though, man. You got to throw everything on the floor in here. Any little things like those would blow out of the truck. So usually it's a lot cleaner in here, but we'll clean it up here in a few days. Starting to mow on Monday, so actually I'll be cleaning it up like tomorrow. So let's go get gas. This right here is exactly why you don't go to the gas stations in the morning. Not really a place to park. So gotta go fill up one gas can and call it a day. Got other crews out here ready to go. No parking. All right, well then let's park over here. All right, so we got the 2-cycle gas that we needed. Had to park off to the side, stay out of the way, and still there was no parking, so I had to walk over to the pump and get the gas that I needed to get and fill it with the Steel HP Ultra 2-cycle oil. So did that, and now we are on our way to the job site, which thankfully wasn't too far away. Sped up this for you guys so it's not as boring to watch, but today's going to be pretty simple. The work that I'm doing, this property, it's basically like a spring cleanup for it, and it doesn't really take too long, and I found a little bit faster way of doing it this time around, so it shouldn't be too bad. And we're almost pulling up on the job now. We'll be able to show you guys exactly what we're getting done before we do the mulch here soon as well. All right, just pulled up to the job site here. This is a HOA property I take care of. So a lot of people, when they hear HOA, they think of like doing all these houses and stuff like that. I don't do all the houses. I just do the common areas, which is pretty much this whole roadway here. And there's like 2 planter beds, couple tree rings and stuff. So all of this will get remulched in a couple weeks. But they like to keep these tall grasses up just to kind of cover up these boxes and stuff like that. So I got to knock all these down. That's why I brought the dump trailer, because look at how tall some of these things are. Actually, I'll get out here and I'll show you. Make sure that's closed. Usually throw a couple cones out right away too, just to have. So this is what we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, about 12 there. Grass is starting to get long. I'll be here on Tuesday to cut that. We'll redefine all these edges. Normally I do that at the same time, but we got so much rain the last couple days. It's just super wet. So that'll have to get done at a later date. So just gotta trim all this stuff back. You can already see the new growth is coming through. I'm a little late to the game, but it is what it is. So let's grab some tools, get after it here. I don't know how exciting this is gonna be, but I figured I'd try out the new GoPro. There's the setup. Single cab, dump trailer, looking good. So probably grab this wheelbarrow out, so that's out of the way. And then let's grab some tools. See what we get into. One more thing I'll say is, usually with this stuff, get yourself some twine or some string, something like this. A lot of people use duct tape, but I know like the place I take it to, they won't want that. You can tie some of this stuff up so it doesn't go everywhere. Like a day like today where I don't have like my mower and stuff with me, I can wrap this stuff around it tight and pretty much just have piles of each thing. So I'm gonna go around, do that to a few of them. Some of the smaller ones are so wide right now, I might just hack them down and then just rake the stuff up quick, because I'll be back here like I said Tuesday, so like 3-4 days from now, just to clean some of this up again and mow, so I can clean it all up then, make it look good. Well, this stuff's a little thin for what I usually use. I thought I brought this stuff, it's actually thicker stuff. So we're gonna do this the old fashioned way. Trim them down and throw them all in the wheelbarrow. See what happens. Now it's 8 o'clock, I think. Yeah, 8 o'clock, so I can officially start making noise. So let's go make some noise. So that string or that twine idea that you guys had just saw clearly didn't work this time around. I usually have some thicker stuff. I brought some thin stuff. It just snapped right off the bat. So instead of even trying to use it, I just said, forget it. I'm just going to knock this stuff down and see how bad it is cleaning it up. I realized I was saving a ton of time by not taking the time to tie everything up. It was just faster to knock it down and rake it. So right here is the steel combi system. This one in particular is the KM130R. I have a few other combi systems as well. So it's got the articulating hedge trimmer attachment, so I can articulate it to the point where I can pretty much stand straight up and cut those things freely down, which is super nice, not having to bend over with like a normal hedge trimmer or anything like that. So you can see everything's a mess, just raking it up real quick. Anything that's small or little, I wasn't too concerned about, because I'd be coming back later and just, you know, cutting the grass in a few days and whatever. So I'm kind of glad that the string didn't work, because I did that the last couple of years and I would spend like probably 40 minutes tying everything up, including the front bed and stuff. And it was nice because there was no mess, but I think I was spending all that time doing that when in reality I should have just cut it to the ground. It would have been easier. So this is the second area we have to take care of. Same area, I guess, but second landscape bed that has all these grasses. These are really the only things I have to worry about maintaining. There's a couple small shrubs on this property in the front beds, but that's really it. And they like to keep these things up over winter, so I don't really touch much until the spring, which is nice. And then we redo the mulch here every year. So got to get this stuff cleaned up and out of the way, and then I can start prepping the beds for the mulch, you know, pulling the weeds, edging the beds, that sort of stuff to get things good to go. So this stuff, it's a lot of debris though. Like these ones in particular were very wide and not quite as tall as the last bed. The last bed, I've seen those ones grow up to like 7-8 feet tall. All right, so just wrapped up this section here, got everything trimmed, cleaned up, thrown in the dump trailer, blew everything out as best I could. There's still going to be a little bit of stuff, but I'll come back on Tuesday, like I said, when I mulch everything up. Because normally for like a cleanup job I'd have my mower, but for this job I have to haul this stuff away. So just do a little bit of raking, a little bit of blowing. Doesn't make sense to come back for all that stuff. So let's go to the front and do that part. Learning a lot with this GoPro stuff, man. Just in these last 2 hours of the day, I'm already at 20% on the first GoPro battery. I have one more left, the third one at home, but definitely need to get more batteries, I think, if we're gonna keep this up. So seeing these guys, they're roofing this place here, brings back the memories. For those of you that don't know, I actually did roofing since I was 8 years old. So I'm 22 now, so you can say we're gonna be 23 here in about a month or so. Almost 15 years of my life I've done roofing. Not full-time by any means, but that's where I got a lot of my work ethic from. And it's a job that is not an easy job. I don't miss being up there, especially on something as steep as that. Those guys are crazy. But I still get involved in roofing every once in a while. I did it with my dad for a while. Now we're kind of out of it, but occasionally we get a couple here or there, small sheds or something that we'll go knock out or whatever. But that's it for now. Let's go get the rest of this work done and we can call it a day. All right, so got this bed here with a couple of them to do. That bed's got quite a bit, actually not as bad as I remembered. So we are gonna go do a couple new builds over here still. Gonna parked on the wrong side just because it's gonna be easier to load. So always want to throw out a couple cones. I'm big on that. So that's what we'll do. And let's just go take a look at this before we get into it. So you can see the weeds are already popping through. That's a problem for another day, but there's a good amount. All we gotta do is trim these down. All the shrubs, the big shrubs and stuff, I trim in the fall. Whatever you call these things, I don't remember. Those are already done. So all we're doing is these tall grasses. So these ones are super small, like should be a lot easier than some of the bigger ones. So all right, let's go knock this out. It is 9 o'clock. Let's see if we can be done with this one by 10. That'd be pretty crazy if we get it done by 10. Well, that was some real time. Let's speed this up because nobody wants to watch me trim these tall grasses for forever. Although this whole thing probably took literally 10 minutes to knock it all down. In video form, that feels like an eternity. So we're going to speed this up and get this stuff knocked down and cleaned up. What's nice about this property is it's got a lot of like tall, like overgrown field around it, and the property, like the HOA has told me like, hey, you can throw some stuff in the tall grass and stuff, but if you can see like that playground in the background, that's a house right there, like maybe 200 feet away from this bed, and yeah, it's all overgrown grass and stuff like that. I just don't want to make piles and just make it look bad. So with the stuff in the middle bed that we had just done before this, I will never leave that stuff on site because it's just so much. I just decided, like, let's just load it all up. It'll be easier. It'll look cleaner, and I'm already going to take this stuff to the dump anyway, so might as well just make it look good, keep it clean, you know. Here and there, if I find like a big stick or something, or you know, a branch or some leaves or whatever, yeah, I'll dump it in the tall grass if it's easier here and there. Because once spring is through and everything kind of like the trees have leaves on them and stuff, there'll be more of a barrier like between this house and this landscape bed, but it's just a matter of keeping your properties looking good, keeping your properties looking clean. I've been doing this property for I think 6 years now or so, and it's been really, really good, and I just don't want to ever, you know, I mean, imagine 6 years of debris just piled up and piled up. Yeah, a lot of it will decompose and fade away and stuff, but you want to keep your properties looking clean and keep your clients looking happy. So taking the extra time just hauling it out sometimes is totally worth it, and not always a bad idea, that's for sure. Well, that was quick. Everything's knocked down in a few minutes. I know I'm going to get some questions about what I'm using. This is a Steel KM 130R combi system. These things are fantastic. I got like 3 of them. And this is the articulating steel hedge trimmer. So pretty good. All right, I know it's kind of windy, but this afternoon's fun just got canceled. I was supposed to go pick up a bucket for my mini skid off a marketplace, and I was really looking forward to it. I've been looking at getting a bigger bucket and set up a time with the guy yesterday because I could have made it last night, but it would have been really, really late. So I just told the guy, hey, I'll make it tomorrow afternoon. And he said, no problem. I said, I'm available tomorrow afternoon or Saturday. No worries, you know, got everything set up, good to go. And he just messaged me this morning and said it's sold. So 1-star review for him. I'm usually a nice guy, but I literally plan my whole day around this. It's like an hour and a half away, and now I have plenty of work to do, so I'm gonna go do some more work this afternoon. So it was gonna be an easy morning and then go do that stuff, but now we're just gonna get some more work done, which will also be a good thing. So let's get this stuff cleaned up now. We gotta get this moving. Once again, let's speed this up because nobody wants to watch us pick up debris and anything like that. One thing I will say about doing a job like this, it's just like doing a leaf cleanup or anything else when you're cleaning up debris. never really want to do it on a windy day. It just makes it 10 times harder. So you'll hear a little bit of wind noise on the camera. It was not that windy today. If it was, I certainly would have made sure we rescheduled this, because once, like, especially when this stuff's just in the grass, it can blow around like crazy and just make even more of a mess, and then just makes it 10 times harder to clean up. So we're getting this stuff cleaned up here, throwing it in the dump trailer, and then there's one more little bed we got to get cleaned up, and then I'll come back a different day and get these beds edged and everything when it's drier, and then get the mulch on the schedule for these as well, so that we get the mulch done and get this property ready for the year mainly. And then pretty much all I have to worry about is, pulling the weeds, once or twice a month, and then mowing the lawn every week, and then fall cleanup again, which is basically trimming the shrubs and some of the other little plants, and then we'll be back in the spring to do exactly what you're seeing again. So this property is one of my favorites. It's not a ton of work to it. Yeah, there's some dreaded days here and there where it's like, I don't want to, clean these plants up or whatever, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not a huge property. It's a very easy mow, and the clients have been very, very good to deal with, over the years, and I hope to continue that relationship as time goes on. That took way too long. This is how full the trailer is. Gonna go take this and dump it, and then go grab the enclosed trailer, go do some other jobs. But gonna blow that out quick, put these tools away, we're out of here. Go take this stuff to the dump and on to the next job. All right, gotta get the blower out. We're gonna need that. Before I blow, I'm definitely gonna take this tarp and put it on. Gotta fix this thing. You can see some of these bolts and stuff are coming out. But we'll get there like anything. Got this bar that I use. It works really well. And then put these latches on that hold the doors open. Move this cone out so I don't forget the cone. Now we ratchet this tarp straight, tight, whatever you want to say. Just like that, we're good. Fire this thing up, go get this stuff cleaned up. Got the old 600 today. Easy as that. Let's see what time it is. Almost 2 hours on this one. I said 3, so I'm happy. I think the biggest thing that helped was not having to actually tie those bushes or grass. That's what I'm trying to say. Here, I said I think what helped is not having to actually tie those grasses. I used to do that, and I think I spent probably almost an hour doing just those ones. So that's it for this one. 2 hours in. Let's go see what we get ourselves involved in next. We made it to the dump, or this is a place I go to called Certified Products, New Berlin, Wisconsin. This place is pretty awesome. I'm a fan of this place. It's getting more expensive over the years, but they literally have everything, and they took on new owners, bought this about 2 years ago now, and they've just totally just blew this business up. It's just nuts. It's been huge for a while, and they just keep adding to it. The guys that bought it own a construction company, and they do a lot of trucking now and all this other stuff. So you can dump asphalt here. You got to pay for everything, obviously, except for, actually, they used to be free to dump wood chips. Now they're charging, guys. They used to have all the big tree guys in the area dumping, but not anymore. At least not as much. Concrete, you got to pay for that, but they don't take colored concrete, but yet you still see colored concrete in there. Topsoil, they do a lot of topsoil. I mean, they buy it, or you can see like the way up there behind the shed. That's all stuff they buy and truck in, and then they screen. And this is all yard waste that's been ground up, and then it sits for a while, and then they move it. And you can see this guy sitting in the loader here, and all right, making sure he doesn't hit me. And then they go all the way over there out to those buildings that way. So pretty crazy. We gotta find the yard waste pile. I don't know where it is. Looks like it's over here now. Yep, we're up here. So let's go get it. All right, just gonna turn this one around, or try to, without getting stuck. Should be interesting. Lots of things here. So you can see big piles. Let's undo this harp here. Go open our doors. Get this stuff dumped off. So to dump this little bit here cost me about 30 bucks. And it is what it is. Nothing you can do about it. It's all part of the business. One thing I will say about this place though is it inspires me for sure, because having a place like this one day, all you need is land, and charge people to dump. They hire a guy that come in here, charges like, at least it used to be about $800 an hour or $1,000 an hour to grind. They'd bring in like a big roto chopper, grind all this stuff up. One day I'm sure they'll bring it in-house, but those grinders are $1 million plus. And what I'm getting at though, sorry, give me 1 second, I'm trying to multitask here. What I'm getting at is a lot of these, a place like this, they charge you to dump, which makes sense. You're dumping. I think it's like $15 per yard of yard waste. They don't check. I could have told them a yard, right? But you be honest, you know, otherwise it ruins it for everybody. So dumping 2 yards cost me 30 bucks. It's gonna sit here, and then they're just gonna let it decompose like that, and either sell it, some of it as mulch, like the bigger stuff. They'll sell us like Econo mulch for like 16 bucks a yard, or the other stuff they'll like turn into topsoil years down the road or whatever, and they sell you topsoil for like 25, 26 bucks a yard. So it's just kind of crazy that you can go to a place like this and people will pay to dump, and on the way out they're picking up mulch, they're picking up rock, they're picking up all that other stuff. So it is just crazy. Sounds like my battery's dying on this thing. I just had it plugged in, so not too long ago. But this trailer has done me very well. For those of you guys that don't know, I bought this trailer maybe, I don't know, five years ago. Spent $5 grand on this trailer. This trailer nowadays would be about 10, 12 grand. But it's changed my business by leaps and bounds. So, all right, we got to go pull forward. Let's go do that. one, put your truck in the park. Two, take the tarp off your boat before you dump it. Too focused on building little things on you, just look like more of an idiot. What else is new? Welcome to my life. Sometimes you just get ahead of yourself. Bring it all the way back down. Hope it's got enough battery to go back on. Fantastic. Battery's dead now. Emptied the whole thing by hand. Now let's find a way to get this dump trailer down. Okay. stuff plugged in the winters. And this is what we get. So, going back to the shop, because I don't need this trailer anymore anyway, right now. This thing's getting plugged in where the battery is. So that's what we got for today. All that there. Add another pile to resell to people later. So trailer's empty. Thank God that thing went down. Ugh, always something, man. Always something. I feel like a lot of this stuff never always makes it to the YouTube world. I'm gonna make sure my YouTube channel, you guys, see all the fun that happens. Change in today's plans. We are gonna go to the quarry here, Waukesha Lime and Stone, good old Waukesha, Wisconsin. Picking up 4 tons of #1 stone while we're here. This place is always pretty cool. I haven't been here in probably 2 years, but we're gonna go get some rock anyway, because why not? These tracks are super bumpy, because I was just here a couple days ago getting the pricing for this place. So we gotta go weigh in over there and then go load up somewhere else. I don't know where. We'll go find out. All right, there we go. 4 tons. Load it down. Let's see where that gets us. All right, that's it. All right, 20,340 pounds. We are loaded down. Time to get moving. This place is massive. People are very nice here though so far, so I can't complain too much. Oh, see if this guy gets moving right away, otherwise I'm gonna go around him. We'll see here. Well, after an eventful afternoon of getting a new battery in the dump trailer, here's my dad. Dad, say hello.
Hello.
We are getting more rock. So the dump trailer works. I thought it was a solenoid. Ended up being the battery as far as I believe right now. So should be getting loaded here in a second. Got 4 tons the first time. I'm good for 5. I'm gonna get 5 tons right now. Go home, dump it, and then come back, pick up another 5 tons before they close in about 2 hours. And then go get my machine, some plywood, some other tools, and get to work. All right, we are getting loaded. I think. Bye. Got to get 1 more ton on. Well, I genuinely have no clue where I left off, but I ended up getting 2 loads of stone for the project that we're doing, and it's about 9 tons. I did 4 tons the first time, 5 tons the second time. Came back to the shop. I got my Vermeer loaded up. I got all the stuff I need to do this project. We're gonna be doing like a 20 by 20 patio with a 5 by 5 fire pit in the middle of it. So I'm hoping to get this dug out and at least the base of it in by the end of the day tomorrow if all goes well. So that's where we're gonna go to now. Gonna go get fuel in the machine and then head to the job. All right, just getting back. Here's our 9 tons of gravel we picked up. Show you what we got in here. Got a compactor, Vermeer CTX 100, a bunch of plywood. Take you in the backyard. So we're gonna use this as our access right here and throw some plywood from the cement. Actually, before we go that far, I believe this is what we're going with for patio. Anyway, follow the back here. Right there, that's where we're gonna be. So I don't know if the camera will make out the yellow stakes. Center point's gonna be where the yellow is. There is some white lines, so we got to dig down 9 inches from here, and then once that's done, walkway as well. So the walkway somewhere in here. These lines aren't straight at all, but it's besides the point. This is all just more or less just to get an idea. So it's gonna either curve this way or go right to here. So that's what we got going. So let's see what we get ourselves into here. The nice part about this one is it's at our own house, so I can work whenever I want. So I really want to get this base in. That way, when we get the pavers, which hopefully next week or so, then it's going to be basically just laying the pavers and building the fire pit and stuff like that. Overall, it's going to take me a couple weeks because I can't commit like a full week to doing this project or whatever. That's probably about what it would take me solo. So I'm just going to do it day by day here and there. So like, you know, towards the end of the weeks when maybe I can take a day off from actual work and just do this, because this is actually, I've been wanting to do this for 2 years, so I'm not putting it off anymore. I wanted to do it earlier in the year, but it's been too wet and stuff, so finally it's our time to shine. So let's get this thing unloaded, let's get to work. This just goes to show that life doesn't always go as planned. Here I was supposed to be driving about an hour away to go pick up a bucket for this machine, and ended up getting a couple loads of rock, getting all my equipment back here and working on stuff, which honestly is fine, and I truly believe that everything happens for a reason. So this will work out fine. We're getting the plywood unloaded. Usually I'd bring the deck over trailer, but I needed the dump trailer and I didn't want to make an extra trip. So now we're going to unload the plywood off of the Vermeer because I want to make like a plywood highway going to the backyard, so I'm not tearing up all the grass and stuff. So that's what we did, because we had to haul out a lot of dirt, and you'll see that here shortly via time lapse and just moving the machine back and forth. So usually what I do to calculate the amount of plywood I need is I'll just pull up whatever address I'm working at on Google Maps, and you can use the measure distance feature, and wherever you're running the plywood, just mark the 2 points. You'll figure out how much you need, and you'll be good to go. So that's usually what I do, and then I figure out how many sheets I need and bring the desired number of sheets. You can see I can drive this machine on the grass. It's not going to damage the grass. What is going to damage the grass is driving this machine back and forth lots and lots of times. So like for this instance, I went back and forth probably a couple hundred times because of the amount of dirt we hauled out and the amount of rock we brought in. That will tear up the grass. So this way you're taking all that weight and of the machine and twisting and turning and putting it onto the plywood. And as long as you move the plywood each day, like you don't have to necessarily pick it all up, just flip it over onto the other grass so you won't kill the grass, and you can blow the grass so it stands back up or rake it. The only downfall to plywood is that you'll get little pieces of it that break off here and there that can be a little bit annoying, a little bit pesky when it comes to that sort of stuff. So you got to clean it up a little bit, but at the end of the day, you're not replacing somebody's like entire backyard or just long stretches of random stuff. So it worked out really, really well. We're going to drop off the pallet forks here. Actually, let's move the compactor because that needs to go to the back anyway. And then we will grab the bucket maybe. Let's get the bucket. Come on, what am I thinking here? Bring it to the backyard. We need it. So no, we'll grab the bucket here and get digging and start bringing the rock in. I genuinely have no idea where I left off. I think it ended with the time lapse here. It's been a long day. It's going on about 14-hour days today. So got a lot done though. It's been a very productive day. That's all I can say. So that's going to be it for today's video. If you guys liked what you see, let me know down in the comments below. And also just be aware that this is my first time really putting a lot of effort into a video like this, different camera angles and stuff like that. So bear with me. I hope they get better, and I hope one day I look back at this video and be like, what the heck was that guy doing? You know what I mean? So hopefully that's where we'll be at. So if you guys like this, let me know. And otherwise, if you want things you think I can improve on, or other things that you think that maybe I should have shown more of or less of, let me know in the comments below. We'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.